Right. So children, we can get started now. Okay, so children, we'll start with the very first question. So the first question says, find the number of elements of the matrix with the order 5 by 3. So children, if you have a matrix of order 5 by 3, right, we know that it means that there are 5 rows, 1 2 3 4 5, and there are how many columns, children? There are 3 columns, right? So that means, children, if there are 5 rows and 3 columns, what is going to be the number of elements? That's going to be 5 times 3. The answer is 15 elements, right? 15 elements is the answer. So children, how many of you got this right? How many of you got 15 elements? Good. So I think almost all of our students have got this question right. Very good. Okay. So children, will move on to the next question, right? So that is the answer for the first one. The second one is they've given us a matrix, right? I'll write it down here quickly. So the matrix is 5 3 1 7 8 0 9 4 and 5, right? So children, the question is, what is the element at the second row and the third column? So children, the second row is this one and the third column is this one. So what is the element, children? The element is 0, isn't it? Yes, correct. So the element is 0. All right. Okay. So then, children, we'll go on to the third question, right? So third question says, determine whether the following expressions are true or false, right? Okay, I'll actually copy this one down so that it's easier for us. Okay. So the first one is the order of a matrix with m rows. Oh, I think there is some, yes.
Sadhu teacher will ask the children to give the answers for
Yes,
this.
we'll do that. Yes. So
Yeah.
children, what about the first one? The order of a matrix with m rows and n columns is m by n. Is that correct or wrong? Can you tell us?
Shahir is raising his hand. Can you tell Shahir? Unmute and tell the answer.
Oh no, he put his hand on. I think it was a mistake. Right. So children, you can
Okay.
let us know.
Anyone who likes to give the answer? Yes, Anuja. Yes, Anuja, you can unmute and tell the answer.
Yes, Anujaputa, go ahead.
Anuja, okay.
True, sir.
True.
It's true. It's true. That is correct. Right. Good. Then question 2, the order of a certain matrix is n by 1. This is a column matrix. Is it a column matrix? Yes, children? Is it a column matrix or not? Right. So I'm getting some replies saying it is true. Yes, yes, children. So it is true as well. It is a column matrix because it has only one column. Very good, children. Okay. Then, children, we'll go to the third one, which is multiplying matrix A by matrix B is the same as multiplying matrix B by matrix A. Is that true? Okay, so the children are saying overwhelmingly, they're saying it's false. So children, you all are correct. That statement is not true.
Wrong.
It is a wrong statement, children. Very good. Right. Because remember, with matrix multiplication, A times B and B times A are not the same thing. Okay, very good. Right. Then, children, we have another question. It says A3, A4, and A5 are 3 sizes of paper which are internationally recognized. The length of an A3 paper is 42 centimeters. The length of an A4 paper is 29.7 centimeters. And the length of an A5 paper is 21 centimeters. Express this information in a row matrix. So children, a row matrix means there is only one row and there can be multiple columns. So when you put it into a row matrix, children, we put it in one row. So we can put the size of an A3 paper first, which is 42, and then an A4 paper, which is 29.7, and finally an A5 paper, which is 21. So this will be our row matrix.
Sadhu teacher,
Yeah.
Sanuda is telling that he is from grade 10 and asking whether there is a grade 10 class. No, Sanuda Puta, we actually, what we do is, this is a review class. This is not actually, we are not doing the lesson. We are doing as a revision class. So even though you're grade 10, no worries, you can follow it up. If you cannot understand or anything, you can ask from us. This is a review class.
Right. Okay, so then in that case, we'll move on with the fifth question. So children, now the fifth question, we have to add matrices, right? So let me write down the two matrices first. So we have matrix A, which is -1, 0, and 2, and 4, -2, and 1, right? And then we have matrix B, which is 2, 1, 0, 1, 3, -2. Okay, right. So children, the first question is, what is A plus B? Right? So children, when we do A plus B, we have to add the two matrices together, right? So I won't do the working right now. I'll write the answer straight away. So we add the individual elements together. So -1 plus 2, that gives us 1, right? 0 plus 1, that gives us 1 again. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 1 is 5. -2 plus 3 is 1, and 1 plus -2 is -1. So children, this has to be the answer to part A. Right, so children, how many of you got this answer for A plus B? Good, very good, children. Good.
Very good.
Okay, so children, you can put your hands down. Right, so the next one is 4A plus B. Right, so children, what you have to do there is you have to times this first matrix by 4 and then add B. So for this one, I'll write it down. So we have -1, 4, 0, -2 plus B, which is 2, 1, 1, 3, 0, and -2. Okay, so children, we first multiply the first matrix by 4, which gives us -4, 16, 0, -2, -8, and 4, right? Plus matrix B, which is 2, 1, 1, 3, 0, -2. Okay, so now children, first we have multiplied the first matrix by 4. The next step is to add it to B, right? So when we do that, what happens? So -4 plus 2, that gives us -2, 17, 1, -5, 8, and 2. Right? So children, this is what we get when we do part B. All right? So children, I hope this is clear. How many of you got this one right? Can I see a show of hands? Good, good, very good, children. So our children have
Sandhu
done
teacher, is there any child who is willing to do the
last one, is it?
answer to the?
Yes, so we can see if there are any volunteers. So children, is there anyone who would like to share the answer for 5C with us? You could explain it. I will write it down on the board as you do, right? So children, put your hands down. Is there anyone who would like to explain 5C? Right, I think Anuja wants to explain it. Is that right, Anuja Buddha? Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. So let me, I'll write it down here. Okay. So children, I'll clear the answer to part B as well, right? Okay. So Anuja, you can go ahead and explain part C. I'll write it down on the board as you explain. So go ahead, Puta.
Yes, sir. Sir, first I multiplied B by 3
Right,
because it says A minus 3B.
right,
So after I multiplied the B part, I got 6, 3, 0, 1 column. And the next one I got 3, 9 minus 6.
right. Okay.
That's rows, Anuja, not
Rose, yes.
columns.
Yes,
Yeah.
madam.
Yes.
Those are the rows I got, and then I minus them. I got minus 5, minus 3, and positive 2 in a one row, and the next row I got 1, 7, 5.
Right. So we got
Can you tell the answers again?
Yes, madam. First
Yeah.
column minus 5, minus 3, positive 2, and
okay.
second row 1, 7, and 5.
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
Sir, it's minus 5, sir.
For which one, Puta?
First column, first row, first one. Sir has
Right.
written it minus 7. I
Yes.
got it minus 5.
Right.
Ah,
So
then
Puta,
it's wrong, no? Yes, Anu teacher, explain that.
yeah. So Puta, now we have minus 1, minus 6. So when you do negative 1 minus 6, you get minus 7 as your answer. Right? So make that correction. Right? So this
No,
is the
minus 11. Here only he made the mistake. He
which
made
one?
the mistake. Minus 11. He said he got minus 5 or something like that.
In
No, Anuja.
the first element, I think, Delight teacher. So when he
Ah,
did minus 1, minus 6, he got minus 5.
ah,
Yeah, he did
okay.
1 minus 6. So it should be minus 1 minus 6. So that comes to
Minus
minus
6,
7.
minus 7.
So children, how many of you got this answer? Right. Okay, good. So a fair amount of children have got this correct. Very good, children. So let's move on to question number 6, the last question. So children, in this one, we have to multiply matrices. So this is interesting, right? So
Sadhun teacher, I'm just small disturbance.
yeah, yeah,
Kavindu is asking for the homework sheet to share it again,
yeah, sure, I
if
can
you
do.
don't mind.
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's new.
yeah, no problem. So I just sent it in the chat. And also, Kavinduputa, one more thing is, if you are not on a computer, you can't download it through the chat. If you're on a phone or a lap or a tab, then you're not able to download files through the Zoom chat. So something to keep in mind again, right? But I'll be writing the questions on the screen as well, so you shouldn't have a problem, right?
Yeah, you can take a screenshot, Kavindu.
Yes. Right. So children, let's go on into this multiplication, right? So we learned how to do matrix multiplication last week. So what you have to do is you have to first focus on the first row of the first matrix and the first column of the second matrix. And when you multiply them together, you get the first element. All right. Okay. So children, we'll start with that. So 4 times 3 first plus 3 times 5, right? And then that's it, because that's the only column. So now children, you go to the second row of the first matrix and again you do this multiplication. So we have 2 times 3 plus 1 times 5, right? So this is our resulting matrix. Now children, remember, this matrix is 2 by 2 and this is a 2 by 1. So since they both have this number of columns on the second row is in the on the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix, you can do this multiplication and the result would be a 2 by 1
Fluent.
matrix. Okay, so let's see if we get a 2 by 1 matrix. Right, so children, next 4 times 3, that is 12, plus 15 and 6 plus 5, right? So from here we get 27 and 11. So children, you can see we actually did get a 2 by 1 matrix, right? So that answer is correct, Right. So Praveen has already sent me an answer. So Praveen Put, I think there is a slight mistake. So this should be the answer. So children, how many of you got this answer? Can I have a show of hands to see? Right. Very good, children.
And Sanu teacher will
Yeah.
ask anyone who got a different answer, because we'll see where they have made the mistake.
Yes.
Anyone who got a different answer than this? Yes, Sihas? Can you tell the answer, Sihas? Sihas?
No, I think it was raising his hand by mistake. So, children, anyone who got a different answer? So, children, if you did make any mistakes, please note this down. This is the right way to do it. Take a screenshot of this. Okay, so this is the correct way to do this multiplication of these two matrices. All right. So, Delaney teacher, shall we go on to the last question from this whole worksheet?
Yes.
So, children, the last question is the multiplication of two 2 by 2 matrices. So, we have 3, 4, 2, 6 times 3, 4, negative 1, negative 1. All right. So again, this one is 2 by 2, this one is 2 by 2, and since this matches, we are okay to multiply them. All right. So children, what do we get? We start with the first row on the first matrix and the first column on the second matrix. So we'll start with that. So we have 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4. That's the first element. Now children, when we finish the first column, we move to the second column of the second matrix, right? So that comes as 3 times negative 1 plus 4 times negative 1, right? Then children, we go to the second row of the first matrix and now the first column of the second matrix, right? So that gives us 2 times 3 plus 6 times 4. Then finally we go on to the second column of the second matrix. So this is our last element. So 2 times negative 1 plus 6 times negative 1. Right. Now children, we have 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 is 16. And we have 6 plus 24. And we have minus 3 minus 4 and minus 2 minus 6. Then when you add everything together children, this gives us 25, this gives us 30, minus 7, minus 8. This should be the answer to your matrix multiplication children, and also the answer should be a 2 by 2 matrix, which is true, right? It is a 2 by 2 matrix.